into like a roaming position.
Oh, he's a troll.
Don't wake him up.
Just leave
wake
him.
him up.
We'll have a solo cast.
That's great. So they ban out the Drow, they ban out the Omni Knight.
Yep, heroes that would allow WG's lineup to shine in the laning phase. Drow OD don't really want to deal with that. It's very difficult. Like OD alone is gonna be a lot of problems for the Invoker.
And both those are like 5-man enablers. The Drow and the Omni Knight just lets warriors group up.
Hello, balcony people. Woo.
Wow, you do just bring the hype sometimes, Ted.
Dude, what more can you say? They're on the balcony. Well done.
Congratulations, you chose a seat. I love that we are seeing the crowd actually give genuine draft
yeah,
advice. Pick Phoenix.
There's a lot of OG fans out there today.
I mean, Phoenix has been one of OG's favorite heroes.
Maybe. Got an analyst in the crowd. And another Drow ban. This poor hero has not been given too much chance to
okay, so
OG.
That's going to be the Jerax Rubik. So
yeah.
Kotal will be handled by Fly. Usually when they pick Kotal, they pair it up with like a very split push heavy hero. What's still remaining is there's still Alchemist, right? No, but it's safe lane. Probably not. Maybe something like Morphling.
But LC's decent versus Morphling too.
Yeah, Morphling is very weak against that hero and very bad against OD too.
Yeah, because obviously you get silenced when you get dueled up, so you can't morph, and OD obviously being able to steal the and doing heavy burst damage potential versus morph.
Just that morph down as well, right? It's just like literally that straight lockdown for morph.
And the lane's just you already know that WG is going to be going for lane pressure. So if you pick up a Morphling, you know you're already like under the gun a bit. Yeah. Of just in the laning phase.
Actually, might mean they want to go aggressive as well. Like Rubik and Kotal, you go on the aggressive, and with Sunstrike, your lane is pretty scary. So that leaves OG a lot of options here. They might not want to go for like some sort of split push hero, but they might just go for like really strong lanes to destroy the opponent in the laning phase, which is something I highlight a lot when I talk about WG. You need to be able to deal with them in the laning phase. You can't just pick weak heroes in the lane and expect to get away with it.
Do they heavily like the Earth Spirit, or do you think this is a bit of like a deny type thing?
I don't know. It's like I mean, they already
had the Rubik Kotal. Yeah, good point.
They wanted the Earth Spirit, like to have a hero to roam around.
The pressure, yeah.
But the synergy with LC in a dual lane is not the greatest. I don't really like Earth Spirit plus LC dual lanes. I don't think it's that strong.
So he'll probably just be emphasizing more on the mid lane, just with the Astrals and putting a lot of pressure on Ana, like you mentioned.
Try to bully the Invoker, probably. That will be his main job, I guess, this game.
And it doesn't give the Earth Spirit's great versus Rubik too, because Rubik spell stealing anything from Earth Spirit's pretty garbage, to be honest.
Oh, that's the lane pressure. This is going to be very worrisome for WG. Their lanes right now, because you have the Earth Spirit. Earth Spirit is a good roamer, but not very good at sitting in one lane.
See who's going to be the response from Warriors. It seems like you feel like there needs to be a change here. Winter, you feel like when Warriors game
I'm looking at Warriors lineup and I'm like, God damn, they're terrifying so far. But I like the way, the
lanes are like weak. Basically, what could happen right now is they do like Rubik plus Kotal plus another like a Juggernaut top, there's no Juggernaut anymore. So Warriors go back for that better laning phase for the carry, because what might happen is like Rubik Kotal plus 1 strong carry top, and Sand King could go 1v1 against the Legion Commander bottom, and with Sunstrike, your top and bottom lane is just going to be absolutely difficult to lane.
Do you think maybe OG wants something like an Ursa? Something just they don't really have that much physical damage in their lineup right
Ursa.
now?
Ursa is really good against Juggernaut in the laning phase, and basically they're just going to get crushed in the lane. And look at that ban as well. They're banning out one of the better supports to have to handle the lane pressure, because you can push the lane out with your heal, and then you get your creep pull going. So you enable your carry to get experience and farm under the tower.
So the Omni and the Dazzle ban are just to like literally keep applying that pressure in the lane. They can't really turn it around easily.
Not sure what else you can actually pick to replace that, because I would say Dazzle, Rubik, Kotal are both of the 3 best position 5 heroes. When you are dealing with lane pressure, you can push out the lane.
Witch Doctor maybe?
Witch Doctor, you can't really push out the lane that well, but
not for the pushing, but for maybe the heal and the bongos and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's still pretty decent in the laning phase, but if OG picks up a really strong carry to lane against like what Yannis mentioned, Ursa, they would have a lot of time in the laning phase.
We've already seen one great Ursa today.
Yeah, very effective.
Sumail. That was actually the way we got our sub 20-minute game. That is a reminder, everyone, that we do have EG in the semi-finals. The winner of this will meet them.
This is a very tough pick for WG. There's not many good like supports that can lane against that. Like Disruptor, all really weak. Like Witch Doctor you mentioned is pretty decent, but he's not gonna have a good time against their heroes, in my opinion.
What about Lion maybe?
Lion is also quite weak in the early phase, but he does provide a lot of burst damage for the LC where you want to finish the duel.
Helps with the finger for the duel, pretty good.
Lockdown.
But regardless, there's no like a clear good pick here for WG.
I mean, there's the Wisp, but you said they don't really play it, and that doesn't really help their lane much.
That hero. Like that hero would be good for them.
Oracle.
It's like so like good with the duel. You can make sure the LC doesn't die, and you always get the duel damage. But he's very weak in the lane, like super weak in the lane.
Yeah, they at least have like the combo too with the healing ward from Juggernaut, so if anybody does get ulted, they have a lot of sustain and.
That's like mid game, you know.
Mid game stuff, yeah.
Early game is hard. Very
hard. Could they
have
taken something like Skyrath maybe? Pain in the neck in the lane and helps with the duels as well and stuff?
Yeah, it's possible, but then again, the laning phase, I don't think it would change that much. Skyrath against... He's very good at bullying one hero, but if three heroes come to the lane, then Skyrath doesn't do much.
Well, we did say that OG is kind of like magical, like not entirely magical dependent now, but they do have like the Fate's Edict from the Oracle to kind of counterbalance that.
Still the morphing.
So they do go for the morph anyway, even though it's versus the Legion and the Earth.
But they have very strong lanes, though. Their lanes are still really strong, and WG is really weak in the laning phase.
So your question then, Winter, you did have some faith in them, admittedly was with your heart. They have to survive the laning phase.
Yes.
That's your first.
Usually they have the better draft in the laning phase, but not this time.
Wow. With that said, will the Warriors Gaming continue to surprise us? They did it once. They've already beaten Wings. They did it again. They beat Complexity, but now they've got bigger fish to fry. It's OG on the stage standing against them, and already Winter says they have to weather the storm of the laning phase. Let's go ahead and introduce our electric pair for your cast. It's going to be Malini and Toby One.
Obviously, all the electricity comes from my electrifying. Yeah, you're electrifying, Malini.
Okay,
we're going to go into this game. OG versus WG is what we're about to get underway. Game number 1, WG into the quarterfinals.
No, I didn't expect them to be here, but I actually think they stand a better chance against OG than most people think. They're no pushover at all. And yeah, their draft is probably a little weaker compared to OG, but it's in their wheelhouse.
If they can survive the laning phase, as Winter said, then maybe we are going to have one hell of a game. Both teams look like they've got a really stable lineup where there's no real weaknesses beyond the laning phase.
I think a lot is on the Earth Spirit. If he can run around and get a lot of kills. It's not a hero that we see too often as of late, but still favored by some in particular. Because if he can pressure the lanes and force the supports to break up and maybe have like Morphling left on his lonesome, or force their one of the other heroes to run around, like Jerax, maybe play way more defensively instead of offensively, I think they can do okay in the laning phase.
Speaking of Notel being on his own, we might actually look at this little small movement. So OG are already changing their lanes up. So S4 is going to head down to the bot lane. This is going to push Notel to the off lane. Now, he's done this role before with a couple of other heroes. Obviously, he's been playing a hell of a lot of Luna of late and has been heavy on the rotations. This time around, when you're playing Notel's Morphling, do you want him coming into early fights? Or is it that farm up, you're going to be brilliant in the mid game, just survive until then?
Well, the great part about this is he doesn't actually have to make the decision. With a keeper on your team, you can just recall him if you'd like. However, Notel is one of the carriers that I would say is most involved with his team. Generally, it's like more Luna Juggernaut that we see him fight more often, but yeah, it's very easy to just bring him in while he's farming. No problem, and then he can just replicate back to the lane that he was farming in.
Jerax is starting his rotation. X-Nova's going to see him moving to the top lane. Jerax already had his own Observer Ward down, but he didn't get a glimpse of X-Nova moving over. But this kind of lane is rather difficult to kill, especially once the Oracle hits level 2. Because then you've already got the escape of the Juggernaut through the Blade Fury, plus what Oracle's going to offer through the Nuke and Fortunes.
Yeah, Jug's actually a pretty good hero to get sacked. He can come back later, he can still fight without many items because he does a lot of magic damage with the Blade Fury, and he also is not really susceptible to being tower dove, or, I mean, their initiation is a little weak, like, what, telekinesis into Mana Leak? It won't be able to kill a Jug. He can easily spin TP at this point in the game.
Yeah, the initiation comes later when the Morphling gets bigger. Bot lane, there's a lot of farm actually coming into Kangaroo, as Afu just gives him a lot of space around S4 too.
Yeah, they need to at least win one of their lanes. And it seems like they're winning 2 of the lanes right now. Nana ahead up in CS, just barely in the mid lane. And Afu, as you mentioned, kind of bullying out S4 in the bottom. And top lane, OG, JRX and Fly are kind of just running around. They want to utilize the big pool. That's one of the benefits of aggro try on the OG side. I guess both sides now. But if they can utilize that pool, they can come out way ahead in this lane and severely impair the Juggernaut.
Well, it's already, but the Morphling's already far enough ahead as it is. They can just keep the balance, then sure.
Oh, there's a haste rune for JRX on the top.
Now, this is a dangerous thing to have with his boots up as well, that high movement speed, just making a run over on Nana. But no telekinesis, so there's no straight setup. Anna's not going to be able to get that Sunstrike onto position.
And Earthspear's ready for this.
He's actually sitting in behind the tree line to the east of the Tier 1. Interested to see exactly what he's waiting for, because you can start off with the Astral Imprisonment, and then you can Rolling Boulder in. It is a level 2 Earth Spirit, so here we go. Rolling Boulder over, hits into Anna, and with the kick, pushing him back down the ramp. Does Anna have enough life to survive? Got the cross up, makes a break for the tree line, and Anna, no points up in the Arcane Orb, but still only a level 3 OD. So Anna survives on roughly 30 HP.
Oof, that was so close. They did the best thing that they could with the block, but just not enough damage. That little bit of extra armor from the Ring of Aquila certainly helping out there. A very underrated build.
Well, you asked for it. You wanted the Earth Spirit to have his rotations, and Fu was happy to oblige. Even if you can't find the kill, Invoker having to burn more consumables.
Yeah, and OD is ahead in CS, and that was a good run for OG. Jerax looking to go back to the mid lane. He knows OD's very low on regen, like Wild Sunstrike or a Telekinesis and a Sunstrike could spell a kill for them, but I don't think he'll be able to get a courier kill at this point. It is well past 3 minutes.
At least the movement speed's down, but you know, maybe he's just waiting for the real thing. Anna's got Cold Snap up and available, so they start with the Imprisonment. I was actually losing a little bit of armor thanks to the Forge Burst. Now GRX movement is a little off. This bot lane is a lane which is working really, really well for WG. The highest CSer on the Dire side belongs to the Legion Commander, and the SK not getting as much out of it. Even with the 2 points up in Caustic, it's not forcing the Legion out, and it's a 23-5 against now 13-1 SK.
It seems to be one of those lanes where if you're the core, you're just like, I just need a little bit of help. I need like a 1 level advantage, even half a level advantage with boots, and then you can just leave me alone, which is exactly what Afu did.
Afu, Jirax, looking for a body block. Afu just TP's out. He knows all the stuns have been committed.
Yeah, not really wanting to risk the boulder block. And Kangaroo pretty close to level 6. Maybe they can set up a kill. Earthspear's coming in, but he's not going to be level 6 by the time he gets there.
I wonder if the Legion even really cares. He's going to get his life back. Like, S4 does his harassment until S4's got potentially Arcanes. Don't know if he wants to go in for the Soul Ring style build.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Sometimes you'll see Arcane, but here he has Keeper on his team. It's not that big a deal that he's going to run into mana issues. I think they do need the Blink as soon as possible because he's by far their best source of initiation, and of course they want to create space for the Morphling later.
Well, he can get away with it. Like, the Ring of Regen's enough to keep him in the lane up against a Legion who's not doing anything to harass him. This may change a little bit later on. Noticing the build with the 3 points up and overwhelming odds and almost duel, 8 points away of experience from this. Really great time for the Earth Spirit to arrive on bot lane. So now Legion is level 6.
They might see that there's no creep wave in the next wave and hunt Jerax down. They have the free scouting with the Earth Spirit. It's still half duration on his invis. Now it's about the time where you're like, okay, the creep wave's not here. Something little fishy's happening.
It's kind of funny because the shoes is a little bit on the other foot, because normally with a Legion Commander you have someone like an Invoker who will lend a Sunstrike. But in this case, the Sunstrike's on the side of OG.
S4 walks in, they drop an Reservoir Ward behind. Can they catch him out with a stun?
Well, there's your overwhelming odds. Kick will begin. He's low. Now the taunt begins, but Jirax throwing away the Legion Commander. Is the damage going to be enough? No, the OD Imprisonment. It'll arrive. This will still find the kill in favor of WG's mid.
Nice little play by the Rubik there. I think Rubik, like, he tried his damn best to save the Sand King, throwing away the Legion as far as possible. But no dual damage, I guess, at the very least for OG, but very well played by the Earth Spirit. Very good rune for him, and I like his Observer Ward placement to see exactly what was going on behind enemy lines. They have to be very careful with the LC duel later on into the game. The Blinding Light is very annoying to deal with as an LC, because by the time you like you've already dueled, so you can't purge that blind off.
S4's TP tops. This is the first rotation of the offlane, and Notel intentionally taking damage. He is baiting in Jit. He'll make a break for the tree line, cut his way out. The Sunstrike's on its way too, but already S4's found the kill. So quick movement from OG. We expect this from them. They've done it the entire major around. Normally it's with their one position rotating, but it makes a lot of sense for S4 to come.
Yeah, they have to be really careful with their TPs, just like the Earth Spirit. He could have spun TP, but he was like, okay, this Morphling out, that means more people are around. But by the time he realized that he didn't have 3 seconds left on his Blade Fury.
They're TPing him. The Juggernaut's there. Now, with the silence on the Morphling, Fortune Sen locking him in, and Notal will fall. OG thought with the kill, maybe they can get a significant amount of damage and potentially even the whole Tier 1 tower on top, but they lose their Morphling instead.
That required very precise play from the Earth Spirit. There was a Berserker Ward behind the tower, so they saw where the force were, but he rolled in, he did the pull as he was rolling, and there was just not enough time for the Morphling to react to get the strength gain before the silence came out.
Another in, actually this one's just smoke. Jirax walks up the lane. Sunstrike, oh no! He threw him out of Anna's Sunstrike. You've still got Notal to waveform in. And Imprisonment will kick in, and S4, he is totally dead, Nana. No matter what happens here, the Burrow Strike from S4 doesn't actually walk up the kill, it was Anna. So OG will have to pressure a different Tier 1 tower. Already X-Nova TP's in. He'll be able to pull the wave back with Fortune's End, or just his basic attack.
OD also wasn't able to spend all his money there. He had 250 unreliable, but just kind of sat there during the Astral, perhaps waiting for his teammates to come in. But there's no really saving him unless they have False Promise up on the Oracle. But as of right now, OG, they're trying to pressure the mid in the top lane while letting the LC farm up. They don't really view the LC as that big of a threat, I think.
S4, Epicenter as well, commits. Legion Commander will press the attack. No reason to duel, he was dead.
Yeah, that Sunstrike pressure is just what.
So they know just how much work WG can do in the early game. For now, WG are just happy taking in Tier 1 tower. Fu sitting behind the tower as
Jerax smoked up in mid, waiting for someone to defend this.
Well, the Oracle's there, but he's just there to pull the wave back.
And they are reinforcing with the Earth Spirit, so no chance of a kill in mid. And there's where you turn your eyes to top lane. They know that there are no supports with an Observer Ward behind, and see 2 heroes move up there.
Spin TP. Take out the creep wave, get the hell out of there as the Juggernaut. Move on to another objective. If you lose your Tier 1 tower on top lane, you're okay. It's a straight Tier 1 for Tier 1 trade.
Yeah, and a lot of fighting items coming out. Morphling also going for a Treads first as opposed to a greedier, BOTs or even straight Lincoln's Rush from him.
S4 and Jirax are hoping for some kind of opening. The vision does see a little bit further up. That's just the hero vision.
Look around in mid. Kangaroo, Nana, wrapping around that mid T1. They're flanking Ana.
Well, this initiation timing is not too bad. You still obviously don't have Legion Commander with an ability to close the distance, no early drums, no Blink Dagger.
And no Blinding Light on a Keeper. That Blinding Light is really good versus the OD and the LC here. Like, it's going to be very difficult to kill people during the duel without those.
Describe this effigy. It doesn't have one, so you can fill in the blanks.
It's Juggernaut's version of the fear pose.
I would say googly eyes. Look at those eyes. That is not natural. Either that or I do yoga.
There are no words for that, Toby.
Yeah. Well, we just gave him some.
But he didn't have any for himself. Wow. Rumble in the jungle. Where's that?
Oh, I like that one. Good caption. Good caption. I'll give it that one.
What are they all looking at?
I honestly don't know, but he's having a very close inspection of the Centaur's shoulder.
Yo, look at them. They're like best buddies. Satyr has his arm around him.
Hey, everybody needs a hug, man. Everybody needs a hug. That's how you get Macho Centaur. That's the competition for that one.
Well, you need to be able to do effigies of neutrals. That'd be cool.
That would be
I don't know if I'd waste a block on that.
It's not a waste. It's not.
That reminds me of Zeiss.
Slippery when wet.
Zeiss was kill me. That was his caption. Because Morphling, it just kind of looks like he's giving up on life there. What is this?
It's inscribed as "Don't hit my face," but is it like workout? Like you got to look at a very close area over here to work out who it is. It looks like an Earthshaker, judging by the totem, and the reveal. He actually looks like he's attempting his own facepalm. Ah, Wings Gaming. Clipped. All right, maybe we should actually talk about the game a little bit more. So we have such a small break. So WG, not a bad start for them. Initiation items are still a little bit further out, but this appears to be like that, just that early kind of fight. Do you actually want to allow this to happen? As long as you're like up against someone like a Warlock where there's a big golem coming down, is there any negative side to both sides actually looking for early engagements?
I think WG, they're more pressured to do stuff around the map, just because I think like they have the Midas up on the Invoker and they have a Morphling. Morphling is one of the best late gamers, definitely the best late gamer I would say in this game, and the best split pusher. So I think that the later the game goes, they're going to win out in efficiency over WG because of BOTs, recall, replicate, and just the split push threat. So they need more kills with the LC. They need her initiation item ASAP. I don't think that Shadowblade is as good as Blink Dagger here, but OG Fly says the magic words, ready.
Nice.
There we go.
We can keep going.
Yeah, so let's see how this gank goes down in the middle lane. And they set up onto Ana. Keeper lights there. Everyone OG rotates.
Yeah, they're ready to fight this one. Ana dropping so low. Those nukes, and then the following kick from Arfu hits the mark. That is a big goal scored by WG in the mid. And now, with everybody here, they can keep pushing to the tier 1 tower. The healing ward behind him. The sustain is nice. Fly's actually keeping himself secret for the moment.
One thing that we didn't talk about too much is like the OD plus Oracle. They can actually push a lot. They have a lot of sources of heal, and on top of that, it looks like OD's, he has a cloak in his inventory. This leads me to believe that he's going for, what, early hood? It could be a casual cloak too, but if they want to go for all these early game items and push high ground before Morphling gets big, I don't think that's too bad of an option for them. They have almost infinite sustain.
Even just a casual cloak would be nice, but no, it is actually going to be a Hood of Defiance.
Yeah, this is becoming more and more common on the OD's mid, depending on what lineup you're against. Right now, they don't have any physical damage. Maybe a little bit from Forge Spirits, Sunstrike's pure, and then Morphling, it's still going to be like 10-15 minutes before he starts doing any sort of appreciable physical damage.
Obviously, with a natural transition into something like the Hurricane Pike, it's just OD's bread and butter. Play from distance.
Yeah, he wants his supports to do a lot more damage, though. There are Spirit and Oracle that are not just there to play purely defensive. They want these heroes to do a lot of damage. Like even the Invoker in the mid lane getting nuked down by the Purifying Flames with the Veil. It's nothing to scoff at.
Arfu was so close to that Radiant Observer ward. I don't know if he actually knows it, but he's sitting just in a small gap. Okay, now he just flagged himself up, and the ping came out very quickly from Jirax. Understanding there are his rotations coming to the top lane.
Jirax is level 6, waiting behind No-Tail. Very little chance of a gank here without a Blink Dagger, and Legion Commander, no Quelling Blade, just not really interested in farming anything other than the lanes, but that would have been a very difficult kill. I think they'd have to like roll onto him while silencing him, then like push him into the LC or something. That's just way too difficult to pull off.
So at 12.5 minute Hood of Defiance plus Veil of Discord, this is an insanely tanky Nana as Zalo. Initiation down to the Sand King, even committing the ultimate and the duel. This is the plus damage. The first of the game for the Legion Commander. They do commit Magnetize for it, but it's SK down and now pressure to the mid.
It's a tough game for the SK. He doesn't have that many places to farm. Morphling and Invoker just soak up so much of the map, and you need his Blink too, probably before those other two items, but there has been a lull in action, and OG are kind of unsure as to where to farm right now.
You look at Arfu, he already knows someone's going to be there with the Illuminate flying. Potentially could have initiated into the Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, they're scared though because the Earth Spirit has long distance initiation without the Blink Dagger. So in the early game, WG has the lead when it comes to initiation and the way the team fights boil down. But still, you have to fear this Morphling is going to get his farm.
Same with the Invoker, running the hand of Midas, building into the drums. Invoker's progressing nicely, just avoiding these engagements. Legion does pick up the Blink Dagger, so now the map becomes a lot more dangerous for OG. But their warding they've got down is really, really nice. Check out around the mid tower as well as up inside the Dire Jungle. If anyone is going to just slip out and not be the whole, well, we sit in lane or we farm inside the jungle, OG will know about it.
They certainly will, and they have even more in their defense with the OD giving away Astral to Rubik. Very good versus Omni Slash, very good versus LC Duel. It's pretty nasty spell. Rubik, I think,
gank is coming.
Top tier pick.
They just found their best target. Is the Morphling on the top lane. This is where this smoke maneuver, the first reveal of the Blink Dagger of Legion Commander. Press the attack, start the duel. Earth Spirit will help out, and do we have? We have ourselves a winner. The Legion Commander now plus 24 on the damage, not to mention the time where the Morphling will remain dead.
Yeah, and they really need his Linken's ASAP. Not sure if he regrets going the treads or not. That would have probably put him pretty close to his ultimate orb. And this way your window of actually dying to the LC is just much, much smaller. Right now it's probably like 10 minutes instead of maybe 3 or 4. The treads probably haven't paid off for me yet just because they haven't been fighting at all. They haven't really been able to pick engagement because WG are just moving around together as a 5. I mean, they have better vision around the map. They got that pick on the Earth Spirit, or sorry, on the Sand King.
What item do you actually look to see the Legion Commander pick up on bottom lane? Already, it's the Imprisonment that came out, but it's the one that was stolen by Jirax. Now you run in, the duel is up. They actually grab Ana, the Invoker. The kick flies through, grabbing both of them, meaning Jirax cannot escape out of this one. It'll be one more hit to do the work, and there it is. A double kill, and now 4 in total for the Legion Commander.
Earth Spirit is definitely delivering this game. He has the majority of the pressure on his shoulders as he tries to wrest control from OG in this early game. Fly getting set up on.
They want to kill Kangaroo. The Illuminate, it does nothing thanks to the beauty of raindrops, and then you even blink away as the Burrow Strike initiation comes just a little too late. That is now all Tier 1 towers lost for OG, plus more engagements going the way of a Momentum Legion Commander.
So you asked what items to go on LC. I think Blade Mail's okay. There's not really that much I think he's going to be...
Do you want something, though, that breaks the Lincolns, is what I'm thinking.
What items are there? I guess maybe Force Staff, I guess, is the only one. Other one that I really see. There's not too much.
A little bit of trouble right now for the Oracle. Caught inside the tree line, so S4 and Jirax going to find themselves a freebie. Sunstrike thrown just as almost insurance in case Nova tried to TP out.
Yeah, they have to be a lot more careful. The Blink Dagger has been out on S4 for about a minute and a half now. And despite OG being slightly behind in kills, they're still doing pretty well in net worth. And I would say that they have better late game, especially with OD going like this very mid-game centric build. So they need to be able to survive in the next 10 minutes, not give up too much, not give up Roche, and not give up too many towers. And a lot of that is on like the Keeper to be able to stall while keeping himself safe, the Sand King to be able to split push out lanes without getting caught by the Legion Commander. So it's a very tense game at the moment.
Fu now has his own Blink Dagger. They have no Observer Wards for this smoke gank that we're watching from WG. Hoping for some kind of target of OG inside their jungle, but it's empty. The rest of OG are farming up Ancients or pressuring out the top lane. So here it is. WG makes the most out of it. No one inside the jungle. Put up a defensive ward inside the Radiant jungle and start up on Roshan.
Yep. And OG's suspicions are confirmed as the skin hits, and then
do you contest though?
No way. They're just not in position to do so. They're trying to get as much tower damage as possible, but it looks like Earth Spirit's already TP'd back to the T1.
Yeah, so is Oracle.
Rather.
They want to TP to the Tier 2 tower and properly fight this with both the ES and the Oracle here. They'll have the problem where OG have better vision. The Observer Ward's already on the hillside, but they're rolling boulder forward. Afu with the control. Sunstride's coming in. The Burrow Strike from S4, plus the Deafening Blast. It was stolen, but it's still the Morphling to go down with the taunt. Will it be enough? The Invoker will fall. The winner is still assigned to Kangaroo. And with a kicker and Keeper of the Light, they silence the SK. No easy way to run away from this one. OG, they thought they had the advantage. They thought they had the vision.
That's not a play that you expect. The two supports the TP back very early on. That's what set it up all for WG. And they both TP'd back like to the T3, so the T2, you can get that 3-second TP in. And this Earth Spirit is just destroying No-Tail over and over again with those silences. And he's sitting out, you know, a fair amount of agility because he wants to be able to do a lot of damage to the towers, but he's at that threshold where he is going to die during the duration of the silence before his teams can heal him up. Like it's not like there's a Keeper's Axe to keep him up. There's no Oracle on his side to keep him from that, and that's a personal positioning thing that he needs to look at. Like how are they going to push towers without him dying every time in the fight?
Rather difficult when you don't have a save. It could be nice if Oracle was over on OG, but as you said before, like with Keeper of the Light and Rubik.
If you don't have a save, though, then you got to sit.
Oh, they're going duel. Again. It's time to duel and fly. Well, like Kaiba continues to lose. Now the Tier 2 tower will be claimed as well.
What was that a reference to?
You should know. Tier 2 tower, so that belongs to WG. You continue to add a lot of pressure. They've got a lot to work with. Still with the Aegis Immortal. The OD's feeling very comfortable. You don't have Omni Slash up, but 30 seconds we back off cooldown to jump forward. They're just bringing down any kind of illusions to anything which comes near the front lines.
And they have so much sustain. Like, the Hood is also good if he just wants to cast Purifying Flames on that.
Look at the wraparound.
Without anything.
It's S4 on the back lines. Killing a courier won't be worth it. He wants the big initiation. Under the cover of Invis, there's no detection down for WG. I think by that ping, they worked out that something is a little bit awry. But the Invis room wears off in 2, 1. S4 makes it to the tree line. The ping came out. That one actually came out from S4. But Juggernaut's on the run back out with Purifying Flames, plus the press the attack. There's 2 very low. S4's got a nice target. It's a Legion Commander trying to TP out right under the SK's nose if he even has one of those. Legion Commander, okay, with face boots, slips back through the tree line. The S4 still hot on the tail. The duel will begin. Will it actually be enough? It will be. Kangaroo will find that kill, while Anna got peeled off from the bottom lane. 2 heroes down for OG. Only the SK has buyback, and WG again come up into the OG home.
They just had no vision back there. S4 was trying to make a big play with the epicenter, but his invisibility wore off, so he couldn't see any of the heroes, and he was playing blind from the left side of the map.
Fly slipped that one in.
This LC is just immensely difficult to kill.
Pick up, throw it back down again on the OD. They got nothing. Nova's still hovering in behind him, and this is just like Oracle has never-ending heal to give out when he sits next to the OD.
It's quite nice. Don't really need arcane boots. He just picked it up, but I mean, he's been doing a lot of work without it. First 20 minutes of the game.
I think he just needs a little bit more of a mana pull, that's all.
Yeah. And they were sieging that with just a Yasha on the Juggernaut at that point. Now he has Manta Style, but I mean, they don't really have the items on some of their cores. I guess the OD is mega farmed at this point. But his item build is really good for a sieging.
So you got to remember, got about 1 minute and 10 seconds until the Aegis Immortal will be reclaimed from the OD.
And they're trying their damn hardest to split push with the Morphling. Him and Ana are
actually
on that bottom of the map.
Yeah, like it's kind of right. Like if you don't send both of them, then WG's not going to see it as a real threat. But already, like the Juggernaut TP's back over, he'll hold this out. WG are in no rush. They're claiming all outer towers. They are sold it inside the OG base. When you have an OD, like your most farmed up hero is your OD, and he's the one that's sieging. This isn't even their time to push yet, but they could.
They know they have a lot of time because they've killed the Morphling 3 times. And OG, they still want to use the Epicenter on Senki. It hasn't been used in, what, 7, 8 minutes perhaps?
Well, that's what we're expecting. At least I was expecting it with S4. Like that Invis rune, slipping in behind, get into the tree lines, channel it off and have a crack.
But they're really scared of the Oracle. Like if they don't kill Oracle, they're just going to waste all their ultimates on someone. And especially if it's on the OD. Like OD, I don't think he's even going to die without the Oracle there. Looking at his item build. He's in Trez right now. He's in Strength Trez, 1700 HP with a hood, with the extra armor from the Veil.
Well, the only way you kill Oracle is having fantastic wards or WG in a bad position. And right now, WG is not giving him such an opportunity, so has to go to Vision Game.
I think Jarrett can make big plays too, with like the Spell Steal and then like an Astral, defensive Astral or offensive Astral, and Keeper of the Light, of course, with Blinding Light. It's not like they have BKB on the Legion Commander, but he's able to dish out so much damage to these team fights because he's just not under control. The Earth Spirit is the one that single-handedly is winning these team fights for WG.
Is WG actually backing away from a fight? OG's pushing in the top lane. I think they realize that it is a bit of a trap. They also pinged on Notal, who had the effect of the healing ward. So they know Rubik is also hovering on the top lane. And of course, why do you care? The tier 2 tower gets pressured up a little bit. The Earth Spirit's there to defend, and you add more pressure towards the mid lane.
Yep, 4 heroes are there. No Aegis anymore on OD. Have to be a little bit careful. But with the added Glimmer Cape on the Earth Spirit, that's a lot of magic resistance. And 100% with Fate's Edict. So they're not really scared. The Keeper pick seemed pretty strong at the time, but due to the itemization of Warriors Gaming, it's very difficult to actually damage people with the Illuminate. And he has no points of mana leak at the moment. So that's the majority of his spells.
I think Fly has realized what this game has become for him. Defend from high ground, that's all. If you can build up to the Aghanim Scepter, he will make life a little bit more difficult for WG.
Yeah, he can't. He doesn't have farm priority. I guess he's probably number 3 after, of course, Invoker and the Morphling.
You give him the farm priority where he holds the base and the rest of OG move around together.
Yeah, and this way the LC can't jump. So LC just looking for a stray hero with his invisibility rune on the Radiant side, but there is no Radiant hero even close to him. He might get baited out by this illusion, however.
And, yeah. Actually, Notel jumped in. He jumped to that illusion at the same time Kangaroo started the duel, so he broke the Lincoln Sphere of the Morphling.
And I see the headdress, so that means pipe for OD. I think they can push with the next Aegis. They just need to be able to push out their lanes in time.
Well, thanks to our time, and we know Roshan's only got like roughly 2 minutes. That's a decent spawn time. Won't be the maximum duration of Roshan.
Yeah, maximum would definitely benefit OG. They just need this game to play out a little bit slower, buy some more time for the Invoker, and they can stall if the Invoker doesn't die, but sometimes he has a split push, so if Morphling's strong enough to split push and they can just recall him back, then Invoker can stall for days.
All that time is getting them closer on the net worth. Like, it's only 2,000 in favor of WG. Experience is a little bit more heavily swung the way of WG, around 7 grand. But the top 2 net worths, they're very, very close. That OD and Invoker brushing shoulders. There's WG on the hunt. They want to try and tilt this balance. Do they actually see? Yep, they got a glimpse of Ana. They know he's on the sidelines. The Sunstride's coming over. They look for the kill over on the OD, but support will arrive. Ana's going to get dueled up. And imprisonment from Jirax. He stole it. So cancels the duel win. Ana might be able to escape out of this one. So far, OG haven't lost anybody. In fact, they're thinking about turning this. The SK's down. No, Notel. Waveforms into the tree line. Starts his TP. Furo gets in. Can't find the kill, however.
Wow, WG kind of had a brute force that fight with items. They saw the Juggernaut on the top lane with the Observer Ward right outside the T2 tower, so they knew that it would be a 45. And there is no T2 on the bottom side of WG, so Juggernaut took a good 25 seconds to come to that fight, and the Oracle was very far away from the OD, but luckily he built mega tanky and was able to survive. And as you mentioned, big plays from Jirax saving Ana. They need this Invoker to stay alive so they can keep pushing out those side lanes, and WG looks like they will claim this T2 tower.
Well, it's only a matter of time before this would happen, but that fight could have been a lot worse. A lot worse for OG.
Yeah, they're hitting all their timings with their items. BKB's up. Pipe came out not too long ago.
Yeah,
the Fusil Blade on the Juggernaut.
He knows he can't do this. Like, press the attack. What are you gonna do? You're gonna duel the target? The Lincoln still isn't triggered yet, so he knows he can't find the kill.
Wow, if that boulder had hit, that was really close. Maybe if he had his BKB2 for that little bit of extra damage, that was extremely close. And they would have been able to take a lot out of that. Maybe even perhaps force a no-tail buyback. Unfortunately for WG, they don't have the mobility. They have no BOTs, they have no recall, they have no replicate. So they're like struggling to push out the lanes right now. They know that this problem is only going to be compounded as the game goes on. So I think like right now, the net worth is pretty close, but OG have diversified into more late game, whereas WG have committed very heavily into this mid game. There's not really any farming items on a Juggernaut. He went for the Fusil Blade Manta as opposed to Maelstrom or Battle Fury, so the farm war is going to go OG's way if this game stalls out, but I don't know if OG have invested enough into this high ground defense, however.
And when you say that, you mean like the Aghanim Scepter? You do still have like 4 points up in Fate Bolt.
Just fighting items, right? Like sometimes you won't see Invokers go BOT until like super late. It depends too on the lineup. If you have a Keeper, you have the luxury of not having to go BOTs very early on. And maybe like a BKB. Actually, I don't even know if you get BKB this game on the Morphling. I don't think so.
The big advantage of at least having these BOTs nice and early is the fact that OG may even dodge the WG high ground push. Always worried about what's coming in behind you. Double forward spirits with Alacrity up. Oh, hello. S4 tries to make a little bit of a play. OD gets spun around by the Yule Scepter.
Just buying time for the top lane. Ana right outside the T3 tower with Fly at his back.
Well, one Illuminate will probably mop up that entire creep wave, but TP support's already coming in too. S4's arrived, but they're returning home. Jirax is solo holding that bottom lane. Astral, not a bad ability to have if you want to start nuking down creep waves.
Yeah, I think it's one of the best abilities. I think it's OD's strongest spell by a large margin. And being able to use it defensively and offensively, and it's such a low cooldown, very high uptime. So are they actually going to push here? OD is not there. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger, so it's going to take him a while to run up to his team. And in the meantime, OG will be like, okay, well, we need a hero to show on top lane for WG, so they can't push. And they're trying to force that already with No Tail waving past the creeps.
He's actually using the replicate to scan and look on the other side of the tree line, but no TP scroll for another 10 seconds. This initiation on bottom, they find Arfu, toss him away. Jirax doesn't want anything to do with this.
This is their time, though. The Rubik had just pushed out the creep wave. Now they have a creep wave going into mid, so do they want to commit to mid right now?
They just TP'd Ana to the top lane as well. OG have got all three of their cores looking to attack the top lane, and WG have got a choice to make. Do you come back and defend? Here's your first one. Legion Commander is there. Earth Spirit as well. They look to the Invoker. S4, can you help him out? The Burrow strikes out, but with the BKB from the Legion Commander, nothing interrupts that duel. And S4 now also on the run out. If they can catch up to him in time. Burrow strikes, other side of the tree line. Kangaroo gonna hop in right behind him. Still with that Magnetize, causing a couple of problems for S4, but he's got Sandstorm. And WG realize they're not gonna be able to catch up to him, but No Tail, that's a bigger one. Juggernaut fighting him in the top river. He was begging to get to the regeneration room, but Archit denies him.
And they're trying their best to push aggressively, but now their big two split pushing cores are down, and healthy time left on the Aegis. WG only limited OG to 4 kills thus far. And can they end the game here?
Yeah, you're doing this while S4 is still pushing out your top lane. So again, S4 is trying to find some level of trade. The Dire Creep Wave, they don't really have one. The Illuminate's going to get connect. Fortification as well, slowing down WG's attack, and they want to try and fight. They've got it. The melee, backdoor regeneration's kicking in. They need a little bit more damage than what they've got. Hard to finish the job when you just don't have the big deeps, but they'll still get there in the end. The melee racks will fall, but look to top lane. SK pushed him before. Ana's still there with the Forge Spirits, and this brought the Earth Spirit back.
Easy racks. They're in and they're out.
Blink, no duel, S4, Jirax. They weren't exactly certain how they wanted to approach that one. S4 was looking for the Burrow Strike.
Oh, he was really quick with that Sandstorm. WG had the vision advantage. They have an Observer Ward immediately to the northwest. So really quick on the fingers there. They need to stop hemorrhaging kills. And
S4's dead. Astral Imprisonment. The Juggernaut's preparing around him. Does he actually have a way? Burrow strikes down. Legion Commander's there, but again we'll wait for the Astral. Spin begins. OD. Well, drops the Eclipse very early on and ensures the kill on the SK, who has buyback available.
Look at Earth Spirit's position. He's waiting for Ana to come up. And Ana will not bite, knowing what happened to him last time.
He TP's back. Remember, OG, they want to send this to late game, so no reason to send too many people out on a bit of a suicide trade.
And now they see the OD on top, so a couple of minutes of reprieve for them as they breathe the sigh of relief that they survived another push, survived another day.
Well, Notel tries to bait with the illusion on bot. Yule Scepter ends up killing it. Looks like Legion Commander was preparing himself for a duel, just in case it was the real thing.
Yeah, I don't actually think a Pike is too bad for the LC, just so he can instantly pop a Lincoln. And I think that Invoker is building a Lincolns too, so this gives more merit to the Pike build. There's not that many other ways you can pop a Lincoln Sphere as an LC. Maelstrom is very unreliable. What other items are there? Don't really think there's that much else.
What do you think about the Abyssal Blade?
Abyssal is decent, but it's very expensive. I don't think they want to wait that long. Diffusal is also a pretty good option, but I think if you're purely just building it to stop the Lincoln Sphere, I think Hurricane Pike is much more useful.
Or he just relies on his teammates. You
Yeah,
got that Earth Spirit with the Blink Yule Scepter. That'll be enough to trigger it, but you're also building into 2 Lincoln Spheres. Invoker is rapidly approaching the conclusion of his. So Initiation's a little bit harder for WG, but they say, well, if this turns into a push game, they're okay with that. Blinding Light trying to make life a little bit more difficult. Apu jumps in. There's the duel over on the Morphling. They're holding you in position, and the Morphling goes down. Buyback is available. S4 sandstorming. No big epicenter. Was the Magnetize committed? There's no straight up follow-up, but a blink, Burrow Strike, definitely blast Juggernaut, almost pushed back into that Sunstrike. The Blinding Lights just keep pushing them around Ana to the front lines with the Morphling buyback. Now Notel has to be careful, the Omni Slash, so much of it hit him, but again, G-Rex with the Stolen Imprisonment, S4, the Epicenter, and Illumina is still minimal damage. WG are just so damn tanky, and Nana wants to keep fighting. So much stolen intelligence. Nova dropping low. The Burrow Strike's there. Finally, the OD. A self-imprisonment. Hurricane Pike is off cooldown. He'll have maneuverability, but not when Notel appears inside of him with the waveform. Sunstrikes. Oh, okay, that's not hitting anything, but they can at least kill up the Earth Spirit, or can they? The kick, the stun. He just moved up on top of the hill.
Costly hold from them. Morphling. As you mentioned, the Earth Spirit went in on him. I think he blinked, he Yules, and then they dueled on him. And the second time, after he bought back, he wisened up and he was strength morphing as the
Ana
burst was coming out.
Was being chased. Luckily for him, he managed to get a tornado off, and this pushed them away.
They need to spend all their gold for this next push, though. I think like they can win the game. Saving for buybacks is not that important because they don't have a good way to get back into the fight. If they had recall or BOTs, I would say differently, but they need to invest, and I think the LC is kind of torn as to what to buy right now. So let's see what he buys as he approaches the secret shop.
They do have the recall up on Fly with his Aghanim Scepter, drags the Morphling into a double damage rune. WG will be kind enough to oblige OG and fight.
Oh, he went for SB. Okay, that's a little bit of a different approach. Still no good way to pop the Lincolns, but it will give the Earth Spirit information on who to initiate on, because right now the OG wards have been superior to the WGs in giving the information as to when and where they can split push out. But hoping with this he can bypass all the observer wards that they have. I think it'd definitely be best paired with a gem of True Sight, and WG have not made any signs to buy one as of yet.
I'll give him time. There's still a lot more left in this game if we go with the current rate, but it's bottom lane. That Shadow Blade's about to wear off. No vision for Ana looking at the tree lines. Now you'll see the Juggernaut arrive. Ana picks up a Blink Dagger of his own, but 13 seconds till he can BT off this bottom lane. And the Legion, Kangaroo can smell it. He smells magic in the trees. The scan from Daya is just a little bit off. Is he going to walk back into it? He pings it. He pinged the scan. They know Ana is in the top part of it. And well, okay, that's a smoke. Ana blinks up. The kick will be there. The stun will remain. And now it's time to duel, but they don't have detection. They don't see him. Ana, not just moonwalking, ghost walking out of the bottom lane. Is there any kind of help?
X-Nova has 4 Sentry Wards. Is he going to place when he gets hit by the
He got cold-feeded.
Yeah,
but the blink away, Ana's already out.
You know it's gem time now. That was a kill that they blew so much for. The Earth Spirit even smoked. He blinked in there and smoked it just to see if he was there.
And problems for WG.
Kangaroo walking down the mid lane. There is a sentry. He's right in there. Wow.
Quick blink, and he gets a tornado, however. Press the attacks available, and he's going to BKB. That's the 8-second BKB now down for the Legion.
I'm still surprised they haven't bought a gem. That's a clear sign that they think they need one, but maybe they're unsure as to who's going to buy it. The 2 supports don't have 900 gold as of yet, and maybe the Legion Commander wants to save it for Silver Edge or whatever item he wants to save up for. But I think they're starting to feel the pressure a little bit. They're like very desperate to kill the Invoker and kill the Morphling. The net worth still only 5,000 in favor of WG, but as this game keeps going on and on, the stalling with the Replicates, Constant Illusions, the Blinding Light, the Illuminate, they have what they need to hold high ground, despite just being 1 racks down.
We'll see if Vegas and Cheese is enough to get WG in to finish maybe a second lane of racks. For now, they're just starting Roshan. And OG will do nothing to contest this.
They had the Scepter up on Keeper that you were talking about. And a little bit late, 35 minutes in, but I think that's given in a vacuum. In this sort of game, I think it's very respectable that he got it at this time.
There's your Aegis the Immortal. Slips into the hands of the Juggernaut. So Ajit will have to be the frontliner. He is a little bit tankier thanks to this Skadi style build he has.
And finally a gem. Oracle has bought it. Is he going to give it to the LC so that he can hunt the Invoker and the Morphling? He still does need a partner. Himself alone won't be enough. But I think all they need right now is like a pick onto one of those heroes and then a push and force a buyback on one of those two.
Oh, bottom lane, SK. S4 just got himself a solo kill onto the Oracle. Support is there, Juggernaut. Yeah, you're not finishing those BTs in. But G-Rice is looking to the top lane. With a blink and a 4-star, they can initiate on the OD, and this is what we were waiting for. The pickup, the throw down, Meteorite, a little bit of a blast. He can't even... Okay, he does get the arms up in time to get the Astral Prison. Blink is off cooldown. Definitely blast timing from Ana. It's good. Hits the mark. And OD is down for 70 seconds with buyback available.
Just so bold walking in there. He is very tanky, but there were 3 heroes just prepped for him, knowing that he would make that sort of bold play. That's
Legion.
So much time.
He just dueled up the illusion, the replicate of No-Tail, and No-Tail will turn around the Burrow Strike again. S4, right time, right SK channel. Legion makes a break for the tree lines under the cover of Shadowblade. The Tornado does not catch him. He'll make his way up the hill. Caustic Finale has got him, and now press the attack. Ana, he wasn't ready for this, and he can't have been ready for that, and so much damage. Afu's going to Rolling Boulder straight over the top of the Morphling, triggers up the Lincoln Spear. Maybe now with the Fortune's End from Nova, he can remain alive and get back out of this nightmare with the silence, with the slows. Afu still surviving. Morphling won't be so lucky. It is WG moving the momentum forward. Flyke and Blinding Light. Where's your stun? Where's your disable? Where's anything? Fly the old man. Wise escapes.
Earth Spirit just got in there and put the Morphling in a very compromising position.
Stolen! Jirax! Snaps down the Legion Commander. Ends the godlike streak. 1,000 gold for Rubik because he is the grandest Magus.
That stall is out there pushed for a long time. One incredible individual play coming out from him. I still think Earth Spirit is making the flashy plays this game, though.
Yeah.
He's just been destroying this morph constantly. 1 in 6 is what No-Tail is limited to this game. And, of course, X-Nova, too. Just sitting right behind him with that perfect timed false promise.
Really smart positioning from WG, but it's expecting the unexpected from OG. That's what's giving them the space to maneuver around. Fu, yeah, you kind of missed that one. It's fine, though.
They're looking for a pick on that bottom lane. They're already setting it up. They have the Ags up on the Sand King and just waiting for a lone hero to push out. I think they would need the Epicenter to kill him, but this is not the target that they want. OD, I think, would be the ideal one, and he already senses it out, just spinning the wave immediately. Do they want to get rid of
Epicenter. Wait for it. He's too far away. Jin already backed off the creep wave, so Epicenter will go down for now.
Yeah, that's the second time he's used Epicenter for potentially would have been a solo pick. That was only on the Aegis, too, and WG, they might see that and think that that might be one ulti cooldown enough for them to actually be able to get a kill. And Rubik, on a solo warding mission, will get one deep inside the base, just looking for the information so that Morphling and...
Oh, Afu. Oh, he was starting it. He was ready for the kick, going to Rolling Boulder down. Ana, Lincoln Sphere is going to trigger the Gem of True Sight's there, and because he triggers the Lincolns, they can start the duel, hold the Invoker in position, and a winner. It's been a while since Legion was one of those, but he has 130 plus damage. I think Jirax is also looking for something else himself. They get rid of the replicate.
They need to push out top lane as soon as possible. They have to be able to stall for Invoker. You do not want to use buyback right now unless you absolutely have to. And it looks like WG will be ignoring the top lane. But top lane is already exposed for WG. There is no T3. The range Rex is at 280 HP. So at the bare minimum, it looks like that will already be going down.
Fly's positioning. He just nuked that wave when it was back at the mid-river. S4 is going to creep skip out the mid. The top lane continues to pressure as well.
But bottom lane is going to go in.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, the top tower is going to fall before. If they TP back, their push is done for.
It's enough to defend. Like, with Illuminate as well as Fade Bolt, no creep wave is able to enter the base, and you've still got the Omni Slash on the Rubik for the moment.
Yeah, you might have to, like, pipe this wave if you want to push at this exact moment. If not, your window may be a smut, but they're only too strong at the moment. And that, yeah, that wave's done.
Yep, this is that defense. Very difficult for WG to get all the way through without triggering pipe beforehand, and then life is still difficult.
And Earth Spirit has TP back, but he still hasn't caught out that Observer Ward, and Legion Commander's like, how did they know I was here? And let's see if he gets his Observer Ward. This is a pretty important thing in the grand scheme of things.
He is in range. He actually blinked over it for a second.
Yeah, so he got this now. Like, OG can't push top lane as freely as they wish. That is their only observer ward out on the map, and now it is dark. And it's nighttime too, so keep it light. It's going to be extremely difficult for them to actually not die while split pushing out the lanes and defending. They've constantly been able to creep skip with the Sand King, with the Morphling, these very elusive heroes, but will they be able to keep it up at the most trying time?
And you can see Dire already looking for it. They scan up on the top lane. S4 is hovering around, but doesn't find any kind of moment. And Afu, he also knows that he keeps checking this hill smack bang in the middle of the Dire jungle.
Oh, they're walking under Observer Ward. Ana is revealed. I believe they know that S4 is in that top left corner too. This could be a disaster.
They definitely know, but also, look who's moving up. Is Notel coming into the lane. The Burrow Strike from S4 catches the Earth Spirit, so Magnetize can't get on. This will allow Ana to make a break for the tree line. 125 life. They push down, but he blinks away! The space is there. Earthspirit doesn't want to give up. He's overblinked. And into the trees. He doesn't know. The TP out is again successful.
Wow.
This Invoker is one slippery little sucker.
Some individual play right there. Earthspirit did not think he needed to commit to Magnetize, and he just blinked away kind of casually. And that was a difficult one to escape, especially because WG got the heads up with the ward.
And now again we find ourselves in this position.
Yeah, that's all OG are
Notel, get out of there. Triggers the Manta nice and early on. They get the Linker Sphere off. Now overcomes Nova with the nukes. Notel's down and no buyback is available. He is down for a very long time.
He thought they were just pushing down the left side of the map. I can't really blame him for that because he thinks that they're going for the game-ending push. But WG are like, well, why don't we just kill Morphling and then get a game-ending push?
That's one way to do it. A lot safer to do it that way. They have to keep in mind that, again, keeping a creep wave alive is difficult.
They can push 2 lanes at once. Like they can just send a Juggernaut top. I guess maybe the OD might be a little bit better. Yeah, Juggernaut top and then just go down the mid with everyone else, or just commit mid everyone else. They do have creep wave finally. It's zapped down.
Yeah, no creep wave anymore. Juggernaut already used his spin. S4 with a Burrow Strike. Sunstrike will connect. Juggernaut looking a little low, but there is a little bit of a heal behind him, and Ana blinks in to try and find the initiation.
It is that important that he kills the healing ward, though.
Yep. Now, blink, Burrow Strike. It's S4 trying to find better angles. That tier 3 tower still alive.
Morphling's almost up. They've wasted almost a minute, and it looks like another 10 seconds will be wasted. As the Ice Wall is dropped at the foot of the base, and Ajit tries to walk up there.
And with a spin, he can at least get in, but now Nana blinks forward too. S4 wants a way out with the Sandstorm Invis. He actually had a way to do it. Jirax will create a little bit more space with a Stolen Astral, and Burrow Strike. Oh, will it be Ana? S4's waiting. Now the Burrow Strike catches 2. Juggernaut broken free by the False Promise. Earthspirit also lucky enough. No, he's not. Notail able to reach him with a last attack. No breaking free of this. Nova trapped to the tree line, surrounded on all sides of the OG sandwich.
And the gem lost at the same time. And a little bit of their inexperience showing through, not picking up the gem early enough to kill that Invoker, and then just not... When you're up against like a Rubik and a Keeper who just can push out one lane at once, you have to be able to push multiple lanes. And like 4 of the heroes were just sitting behind the Juggernaut waiting for something to happen. But OG, they aren't going to initiate while the Morphling is down. You need to make the most out of that minute that they had. And they lost 2 heroes, they lost the gem,
Legion.
And just got a T3.
Kangaroo slips in behind, finds the old man, but doesn't attack fast enough. S4 gets the Burrow Strike off. OD imprisonment from Nana creates a little bit more space. Support is there from the Juggernaut, and now, well, a quick movement out. Epicenter right on top of the OD, but S4 trapped in the tree line. Now Burrow strikes its way to freedom. Falls will actually be enough, with Legion Commander running in, taking so much damage for very little reward. The Omni Slash onto Notel, shared out with all of OG. Ana 4 stops away. So many of OG low. Now the duel begins, but Morphling is the winner in this case. Now it's also Nana. Nowhere to go. Illumina will fly. A defensive imprisonment creates some space. Archit needs to do more damage. The kick is out. It's actually the one now coming in. Where's your Eclipse? Already triggered a double kill for Nova. A triple kill for Nova. WG, they're pushing him back out again. The Purifying Flames have brought down OG. They heavy buyback. They have to defend this WG push, but no ulti's now up.
Man, if you'd watch this game only, you'd be like, why is Earthspirit not picked more often? The amount of damage that he did at the end there when everyone was clumped up around that secret shop just devastated OG, and both their cores just got destroyed after all their defensive cooldowns were up.
A lot of buybacks coming out from OG now. WG, they still know the Invoker is down, so it's a good opportunity. If they can find a kill, they'll keep the numbers advantage going their way. Blink forward, they're only finding a fake Juggernaut. Obviously they know it's fake because it's one of theirs.
And there is no buyback on the Invoker for 30 seconds.
Now the fortification, Yule Scepter on Nana. Burrow Strike catching both the Juggernaut. That blind light pushes it back so far. The duel, it's only on illusions. The BKB was triggered for this as well. They want the melee racks down. Problem is they have to commit themselves into a rough position to get it with the spin from the Juggernaut. That's a lot more protective. Notel trying to keep the kite going with that Skadi. The spin doesn't stop the slow. False promise from Nova. More space trying to be created, but another imprisonment as Jirax again, time and time again, really messing with the Juggernaut. S4 misses the Burrow Strike. The kick from Arfu hits the mark, catching out the SK, but more blinding light. They just can't get the damage in. That's why they start with the spin. Notel, Liquid Sphere has been triggered. The damage may be enough with the Omnislash. He bounces back down into the heroes of OG, but the damage is negligible, and now Omnislash stolen up by the Rubik. Look for that target. Lets it go. The Juggernaut cops the brunt of the attack. Defensive imprisonment buys the space. Nana's doing work for his team. The spin's still allowed. Oracle is down. Buyback is back in again for him. With the ice ball. WG just cannot pass with the Burrow Strike in epicenter. Another defensive imprisonment. They'll be called by the Tornado. So at least they're in close. But Morphling, well, he's already killed off the Earth Spirit. They're looking for more. Legion still insanely low. Can't hide inside the Shadow Blade. And now it's OD. The Burrow Strike. This one from S4 does not miss. OD blind light pushed him up the hill into the waiting arms of the Invoker. He'll take him inside of his cloak and be happy to absorb the power of the OD with Burrow Strike, Sun Strikes. There she is. WG losing heroes. They still have buyback. They still have the momentum of the top lane that's pushed inside the OG base that's almost taken out the range racks. OG have trouble at home.
Yeah, and it looks like they're headed over to Roche at this point, and how many Astrals came out during that entire fight? OD ran out of mana. The mana leak percentage base incredibly good. I don't really think OD did that much damage at all. He prevented a lot, sure, with his pipe and defensive Astrals in the epicenter, but still, they need more damage. The LC can't really do that much once BKB is down. The Juggernaut is the main brunt of OG's attacks.
OG's not being fast enough. Roshan is not falling out. They also saw the Morphling leave to go to the bottom lane. Now in comes the Legion Commander. Oh, the Tornado! It caught both Oracle as well as Kangaroo. They can't blink in. That time may be enough. Now Kangaroo jumps in. Roshan, they got the Aegis Immortal. It's in the hands of Notel, who got recalled back into this fight. Now the battle begins. Kangaroo, no vision on him at the moment, but who do they want to kill? The blinding light pushing up through back inside the pit. Starts his roll, but the cold snap interrupts it. Locked in the pit with the Yule Scepter. He'll actually get back out again. That was his own Yules. Buying the space, buying the time, but bottom lane, the Burrow Strike from S4. Archit's in trouble. He's spinning, starts the TP. The life is not enough. Buyback is still available, and thanks to the push by Kangaroo on mid, OG still need to go home. They cannot use this Aegis to attack yet.
They lost a T4 in that process, and the range rack's still, I guess, okay in that mid lane. It's 280.
It's holding on for dear life.
It is. But that was a big fight for them. The LC didn't even have a chance for an Aegis steal there because he didn't have an item slot. I think a little bit of nerves are perhaps getting to him. Duel the illusion earlier.
It was actually not even the real Invoker. It was a replicate that just caught out the WG Courier. Had a decent amount on it, just the energy booster of Arfu as well as Ring of Aquila.
Can they hold? It's another nighttime. It's not going to be as easy for like Rubik to get all these amazing spell steals that he's been having.
If only Anna knew. You need defensive Tinker Wards for that kind of play. Just had a bit of a guess with the Tornado, but the Legion already TP'd out. It was time for him to go home. Kangaroo was practically out of mana.
And the Morphling's very, very big at this point. And Juggernaut, neither did Juggernaut nor Legion Commander can like run
swing. Just the events, even though a lot of the dots belong to WG, for the first time in a very long time, OG are leading the graph in experiences, not by much, it's by about 1,000.
And they're smoked up close to Roast. There is an Observer Ward, may give WG a false sense of security as they push out this lane. Juggernaut just respawned. He does have BOTs if he wants to join the fight. They're trying to de-ward.
That Observer Ward's wonderful, but with the Earth Spirit, all he's got to do is rolling boulder up, blink back down again, but Jirax initiates. It's the OD imprisonment used by the Rubik onto the OD, broken free by the false promise. The combo from OG, unable to connect. WG just want to bail out. They have Afu, who's in the wrong side of the tracks. His own Yule Scepter once again. Rolling Boulder, not going to happen when S4 gets the Burrow Strike off OD. Now here's Defensive Imprisonment with a Sheep's Guard, trying to kite out this position a little bit more. The kick will fly down. The Legion Commander wants a target. He's looking to Ana. Ana with the duel on him. He'll go down. Buyback is available, not using it just yet. The Coddle's ticking out too. The Magnetize has done work. S4 trying to repair the damage with his Epicenter. Afu still able to roll himself away with the Legion Commander. They're so low on life. S4, he's thinking about coming back in again. The Blink and Burrow is available. Notel trying to man-fight it with the double Burrow Strike with the kick. Afu has done so much work this game, and it's right that he helps Kangaroo find the triple kill. With the Aegis-Immortal Trinket morphling back to life again, does he have enough to get out of here? The answer is no. Almost 2 minutes without the morphling. Rubik will buy back. They need to do some kind of repair work to this mid and top lane before WG arrive.
Oh, Afu, he is the big playmaker here. They don't have detection to start off this fight, and look at how Ana gets jumped. Afu sits a boulder on him, Kangaroo BKBs up and takes him down. They know that he's priority number 1. There is no Aegis on the Invoker. And like just the way he started off that fight, they didn't have detection for him. They all in on him.
WG, they'll get Megas at least here. What was stolen? Another imprisonment out. Invoker buys back. There wasn't long left on the clock. He would have really preferred to wait that one out, not expend the actual buyback. Afu again jumps in, found the Invoker. The duel is on, and Ana is down. It's a dieback right now for OG's Invoker. This is now guaranteed Megas. It'll have to be a miracle to hold OG here. Jirax, another imprisonment. Keep the OD out of the fight. The tier 4 towers, WG, they're so close to going 1 game up against OG and maybe eliminating them from Boston Major, 2-time major winners. And they're on the ropes. Afu dropped down low, Notel pumping in a fair chunk of damage. At least forcing Nana to think twice about pushing in, but without the Invoker, without the Rubik control, Notel, he's still just one man, and he is gone! GG! 56 minutes it took. OG put up one hell of a fight, and WG held the lead for a long time, almost lost the lead in the last couple of minutes. But they fought back, they held their nerve, and they take game 1.
That was some beautiful Earth Spirit play from Warriors Gaming. He just made everything happen for him. And that game was purely on him. Early game, mid game, late game. He got the picks. He stopped them from split pushing. He set up the team fights. He baited them in. He did so much for his team. I
wonder if you knew what you were asking for when you said, man, this Earth Spirit's going to have to do a lot of work this game.
I like that from them.
I know all of our Dota players keep going off to the gym all the times, but this man benched more than they have ever done in Dota. That was a huge play by Afu. 24 assists with his 5 kills. Did so much work, and everyone did so much work. The damage output, everyone over 20,000 when it comes to the WG lineup.
I also like the OD's build in the early game. It was a very unusual build for him and allowed them to pressure the towers much more than they would normally.
Yeah, a lot of freedom for the Earth Spirit. Panel, WG, they're looking good. Winter, maybe not just your heart, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, you should have seen Winter throughout the entirety of that game. He started with a big smug look on his face, but then as 20 extra minutes were added to the clock, he got a little nervous. Oh, man. Warriors Gaming, when does this story stop, Malini? When does this story stop, Toby? I mean, like, literally, they came into this one as we barely knew anything about them, and now they're, you know, 1 away from a semi.
I'd like to have the same kind of approach as we had with MVP at previous Valve events. It only stops when somehow the magic runs out. That's it.
Wow. I'll be talking to this magical trio in just a little while. Thank you very much, you two. We'll be back in a mo. It's happened. Warriors Gaming have actually drawn first blood in the series and picked up the first of 3. I've got myself, Fogged, Winter, and Pyrian Flax joining me. I'm starting with you, Winter. You were the one that believed on the panel, just yourself. And Warriors Gaming continuing to surprise. I asked you at the start, it's like, is this seriously something that they can do? And you said it's not impossible.
I did not expect the early game to go like that well for them. Their lineup scales really well in the mid to late game. Morphling does not excel at dealing with the LC and the OD. He was like almost completely shut down in the whole game. He couldn't do much throughout the first game, and he had to rely on, like, Ana was basically carrying the team after that. Like, Morphling couldn't do anything. He was single-handedly delaying, like, the game for the whole team on his Invoker, and, you know, like we mentioned before, Afu was like, he was a beast this game on the Spirit.
Yeah, actually played so well.
Just when Melini said, like, you watch this game, you wonder why Earth Spirit's not picked more.
yeah.
Correct, sorry, Fog.
No, like, Ben covered it perfectly. Like, early game, Earth Spirit was everywhere. Mid game, Earth Spirit was everywhere. Split push decision, split push catches, Earth Spirit. Late game, Earth Spirit. This guy put this team on his shoulders, really. I mean, not to take anything away from the rest of them, but he really just overperformed.
I mean, I think the best thing that he did in the whole game, it's not like a really big play or anything, but the early game. The way he chose to stay bot to help the LC, because LC loses his lane against Sand King if there's no help. And like, OG did an aggressive tri lane, Rubik, Kotl, and Morphling, to try and contest their somewhat weaker lanes on WG. And because they understood that they couldn't really do much to help that lane, Earth Spirit, he was like roaming and helping mid. He almost killed the Invoker early. He was like pressuring, and he caused them to not lose the early game that bad.
Almost killing Ana. Ted, there were some squeaky bum time moments with Ana escaping, wasn't there?
There were. I always think, like, it's great when someone escapes on barely any health. It's so exciting. But you've got to think, if that's the big plays we're picking out. I mean, he did play very well, but so much it was like, wow, he barely escaped. I mean, that shows they were on the back foot, I think, for a lot of the game, is that if the top plays you can pick are, he escaped with his life. Like, if you know what I mean?
That's why I said he's merely just delaying the game for his team. He's not winning the game by making his big plays, you know. Right. Whereas for WG, that every step they make, they're getting closer to ending the game.
I mean, if that was in a movie, it'd be
overblink.
ridiculous. But, I mean, that was just insane.
Ooh. I liked what Ben pointed out, too, about the OD, his build. It may have looked a bit unorthodox, but versus OG's lineup, we did emphasize in the drafting phase how they were very magical damage heavy. So he goes for this pipe build, which enables them to be able to 5-man. And since they won, 2 lanes pretty handily in the early game, they were able to kind of group up and use that method to just force a couple towers that they probably wouldn't have been able to get without that build.
But you mentioned he probably needed to swap over for BKB a lot later, because as the game progressed, he didn't have a BKB. He was basically getting owned by the Kotl mana lane, and he was getting, Cold Snap, he was getting Deafening Blast. He was basically doing nothing in the fights apart from like defensive Astraling.
Like, that was enough. I mean, if you look at how long it took them to kill him, so many of these fights.
That's why the game drew out very long. Like if he could kill the enemy.
Like in that fight right there, though, imagine if he had a BKB there. It was the Earth Spirit pretty much like carrying the fight once he showed up. But if the OD had maybe, I think did he have the Moon Shard here?
Yeah,
I believe he did eat the Moon Shard.
He already had the Moon Shard.
But if he had the BKB, he wouldn't have to worry. Okay, he didn't have it eaten yet, but it was soon. But yeah, if he had it, he wouldn't have to worry about Blinding Light, Mana Leak, all these different instances that he was kind of just standing still, not really able to attack. When you see your OD only has like 3 or 4 kills.
3 kills the whole game.
3 kills the whole game, yeah. You like at one point, even though the build was so great early, at one point he does need that Magic Community versus OG's lineup.
That baffled you, didn't it? When you were looking at the scoreboard win. So I just remember just before we came on air, you were like, 3? Only 3? Couldn't quite comprehend that.
Yeah, it's an OD. OD is a hero killer. Like you have 3 kills in almost 60-minute game. That's something that you don't see often.
I mean, that LC was picking up 15. We'll bring the scoreboard up in a little while later. But, I mean, you know how we framed it as Warriors Gaming, they work as a team. We said that there wasn't particularly those stars standing out. And it's like this game has broken that. We've seen some real stars established in this first of the series.
Yeah, the captain definitely stood up for his team, like his rotations and his decision-making. Like how he caught No-Tail and Ana multiple times in the early game. And his itemization was really good. He went for a Glimmer Blink, and he needed the use. The reason he needed the use because they needed someone to pop the Lincoln so that the LC could duel and just lock him down. LC, you don't really want to build an item to break the Lincolns as LC, so he needed to rely on his team, and Afu there just with the perfect itemization for his team.
And he needed to be there. That was the thing. He needed to be there. His mobility.
They were moving like hand in hand the whole game, the LC and the Earth Spirit.
Glued to each other. Yeah, it was brilliant.
Something we encountered was that game could have ended, 20, 15 minutes earlier. Warriors Gaming hit a bit of a wall winter. They couldn't seem to break into the higher ground. Now, what was it that eventually broke? What was the straw that broke the camel's back eventually there?
I think at the end of the game, there were a couple of really, really key pickoffs by the LC. And the reason why they were struggling was because they were up against the Kotl and the Rubik. So basically, those two heroes cleared out the whole wave, and Sand King was doing some creep skipping. He was trying to, remove the creep wave so WGU couldn't push, and they were having a hard time. But once they got the pick off, they pick off 1 or 2 heroes here and there, and they were able to just proceed to close.